And there we go. The microphone is on. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful Friday. Or if you're in the future, a very wonderful Saturday morning. And thank you for the welcomes from Sue and let's see, who else? Philomena and Kevin Haynes. And Sasha, and probably everyone else. It's the man moments, Dr. Fox. Cool. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. And of course, it is a Friday, November 25th, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I'm sure it is the 26th in some places, but hey, it's, you know, those people are in the future, and we're just still here in the past. Some people are even further in the past than I am, but hey, that's not a big deal. Anyway, glad to have you all on board. First off, gonna say hello to our wonderful moderators, Arizona Snowman hiding in the background, as well as Piggy. Piggy might be sleeping, so I'm not worried about Piggy. You know, she's been taking those medications and things like that again, and of course that takes everything right out of her, and she's actually getting a little bit more sleep, which is a good thing for her, I think. Helps her heal up and all those nice things. Also, a big welcome to CND boy Bob. Boy, that's a hard name. Welcome. And of course I've seen Joseph Fields, Texas, also in. Welcome, Joseph. And possibly Gary 24/7 Live, AZ Skies hiding in the background as well. You never know. As well as maybe Lucas Snow or some of the other ones. And Henry Nelson sending healing crayons for Piggy. Excellent, that'll help her, and those have a definite medicinal purposes and value, so excellent stuff. Gary is always hiding. Of course he is, Philomena, that's the way he is. And that's all cool. So anyway, first one in today is a wonderful Lizoid. So Lizoid gets the cookies. He slithered in the door as soon as I unlocked it. And wow. And sharing with the lavaliers, Sue gets one. Okay, no worries. That is all awesome. And of course we did set the big tray into the Lurkers Lounge there. So you are all welcome to go grab one from there. Anyway, Gary is always behind the strike plate solid. All right, there we go. Oh, Mary Jane got us ice creams. Oh, wow, thanks, Mary. Appreciate that. And I wouldn't mind an ice cream right now. That'd be kind of nice. So let's get at things and say hi to everyone. We'll start out with saying hi to Philomena, welcome, and then we've got Kevin Haynes, and John Raper, and Mary Jane, of course, with her ice cream, King Colin Deadman, and going up a little bit more here, we got John already, Judy L is here, Ray Jensen, welcome, Sasha is here, Sue Hayes on board, and of course Lizoid who got the cookies. Henry Nelson we got, good, welcome. And going up the list to see who else snuck in here. Boy, Hermione is still there saying good morning. Good morning, Hermione and Fluffy. And hopefully you'll get some sleep. And not a problem if you fall asleep, I don't mind. If you need to, it is definitely recommended. It's safer that way. Let's see, who else we got in here? Scrolling up, looking for other wonderful names, trying not to miss anyone. Okay, we got John, we got Colin, and boy, they chat a lot. We got Brian, Perfectibility 999, also in here. Welcome, Brian. Going up some more. Serotonin, welcome. Good to have you on board. And while we're going up, let's go Darwin. And I'm not sure what the rest of all those letters are, but okay, welcome. And we'll keep scrolling up looking for others. We see Joseph there. Grandma B is in the house. Welcome, Grandma B. I'm glad to have you on board. And sliding up a little more, looking for more good people, or even bad people. We'll take any people. Everyone in here is good. Part of the Lava family, of course. Astronomy Live with David Brewer. Welcome, David. Glad to have you here. And Storm Chaser 1211 on board as well. Still scrolling up, looking for more wonderful people. And who else we got? I know there's got to be some more. OFU Lux from Luxembourg. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I see you changed your name back. We've seen that. Everybody's seen that. It's all good. Anyway, we'll keep going here. And who else we got? Tom Dice, welcome. Good to have you on board, Tom. And I am up as far as I can go, right to the top. We don't see any others there, so we'll go back down to the bottom. Philomena, what's the matter? You got a grumpy looking face. I mentioned you very first, so you shouldn't have a grumpy face. You were the first person, so right after Lizoid, of course, who got the cookies. But when I started saying hello, you got number one. You're sad today. How come you're sad? Don't be sad. It's Friday. It's a good day. Sharon Stewart, I hear you. And, good to have you on board. Let's see, who else? Did I miss anyone else on the bottom here while I was scrolling up? And I hope not. But anyway, if I did not call your name, it wasn't on purpose or intentional. We still welcome you. And sometimes when I'm scrolling up, I don't see everyone's name. It's a little difficult at times. So that's kind of what we're doing. Yona! Welcome, Yona. Glad to have you on board. And let's see. Oh, I hear you. I hear you one. Okay, cool. And good to have Yona here as well. And let's see. What's new? Well, not a heck of a lot. We've had a few quakes here and there. Nothing major. Odd quakes, larger ones again in Texas, a little bit weird, but I don't know, nothing really outstanding. 5.0 out in South Sandwich Islands, that's kind of normal out there, so I don't know if that's anything weird. The Texas ones, of course, are not very big, 3.2 in Texas, so and then the 3.1 in Oklahoma, which is a little bit weird, but oh, hang on, they put it up to a 3.2 now, so yeah, kind of makes you wonder. And then of course they got another one up there in Montana, which was a 2.6, which is kind of weird as well, but odd locations, and that's why we point them out. And let's see, well, let's go around and have a look and do our thing here. Of course, the banner is indicating a few things. Kilauea, lava flow, eruption continues. Yep, we know that. And Villarrica volcano in Chile still doing its thing. And of course, that new one in on the Kamchatka Peninsula is now officially a yellow, so it's getting more crowded there on the Kamchatka Peninsula. fracking or oil drilling in Oklahoma. Yep, I wouldn't doubt that at all. There, Sue, and that is a very, very plausible. So, yep, that's the one, Sue. The one there, and I'm gonna blow that name again. I'm not gonna even try it. But anyway, we'll see if I can do it later when I get to it. But yeah, that's one of those hard names to get your tongue around. And you want to say hi to everyone, so no worries there. Let's turn off the banners and the canned lava here, and let's see if we can get back to some normal stuff. Whoop, I need to turn that guy on. There we go. And with that, that is what it's looking like at Reykjavik right now. So nice, eh? Beautiful scene in the dark as usual. Gets dark very, very early there, but hey, it is 6 minutes after midnight their time, so that's to be expected. Anyway, if we go back in time about 9 or 10 hours, they didn't have too bad of a day there from what I seen. And let's see if we can get, there we go. It does look like they had a little bit of sunshine and not a bad looking skies up there. A little bit of blue, so that couldn't have been too bad for them. Let's put that one back to live. We'll pop over to the other view, and that one happens to be buffering, but we'll take a look at what happened earlier there. And there's what it is like, and that's about the same time 10 hours ago. So that would make it, what, if it's midnight now, take away, that'd be about 2 p.m. roughly or so. And that's kind of what it looked like. And that's not bad. You can see the regional airport and some birds or planes or something taking off from the runway. Must be a plane. It's not flapping its wings, so at least, oh, maybe it is. Hard to tell what that is. Anyway, it's moving. Maybe it's a UFO. Hey, OFU Lux, are you out there by chance? Anyway, just figured I'd throw that in. Not bad looking there either, so they could have had a reasonable day. And I didn't actually check the other camera for a Katla area, and I think we did have some visibility, and yes, we do. And there you can see the wonderful ice mound that is there over top of Katla. And yep, it's still there. It did not have a blowout, no ash plumes, no nothing like that. So we know Katla did not erupt. And that is what we're seeing right there. Beautiful view though right now. That is actually a very nice shot. Almost worthy of taking a picture of. Click, and I did. And that is cool. Water does look high. Yes, it does. That is something in that area where, you know, it seems that it's raised up that level a little bit. Mind you, we've had a lot of rain in there as well. So with the amount of rain that has been coming down in the area, as well as a possibility of glacial melt due to subsurface heating, it's very likely that it's a combination of both creating that. And I don't know if there has been any extra water flow out of there. Yona, do you by chance know if there was more water flowing out from the Katla area, if there was any flooding or anything like that because of these last tremors? I'm wondering if there's more heat down underneath that caused it to flow. So Yona, if you're still there, if you know by chance, if you don't worry, but I'm just curious, and that is actually kind of an interesting concept or question that a lot of people would ask. So anyway, pigs in space have finally arrived. Arrived in space or arrived at Earth? Ray, anything is possible nowadays. We can, if we can't see it for real, we've got CGI, so we can do it, and you can send out the CSI guys to check out the CGI and see if it's real. Pigs in space. I remember that show. Anyway. All right, let's quit clowning around. We'll go back here. Lucas, good evening, and glad to have you on board. Anyway, that is what it looks like there live right now. So we don't see any fiery volcanoes over here at all, unfortunately, and that is about it. Let's pop over to the harmonic tremor charts. We'll take a look there. Of course, I'm starting out on Azores today for a reason. It's because the other one is broken. So let me refresh this, and then we will go through things. And ooh, I didn't notice this before. Big spikes right there in the Azores region. Likely some earthquakes happening. So it looks like 1, 2, 3 of them, unless we have a massive uptick. But I think it's earthquakes. We'll see what's going on. We do have quite a bit of activity during the course of the day in that area. So makes a guy wonder, but you never know where all that's coming from. We will take a look and see what's going on there in a little bit. Let's take a look down at some of the other charts. And of course, we'll try our Philadelphia chart and see if there is anything. And I don't think there is. There's Philadelphia. Unfortunately, all the data is gone. We've got a single line here, and it's way behind. So no data from our good old Ragnar. Unfortunately, it's in a UFO, Doc. It's that UFO. Oh, okay. I knew it. I knew it. The UFO did it. And let's scroll down a little bit more. And we'll take a look at Grimsey's chart. And then we'll go look at Grindavik. So there is Grimsey. And pretty steady as she goes for Grimsey. I don't think we're going to see any eruptions up there. It's awful quiet looking, and like I say, pretty steady for the most part. I mean, obviously we're going to see some movement. That would be expected, but nothing really major. Electrons have fallen out of sensors. Oh, colon, and we're going to need electron band-aids. Anyway, let's take a look at Grindavik, and that'll give us a pretty good idea of what is happening over at Philadelphia as well. Seeing a steady decline or downturn, and that is heading downward. I'm going to be guessing and or assuming that we have a similar situation happening at Philadelphia. Do Free is here. Welcome, Do Free. I'm glad to have you on board. And howdy. I was watching something else and saw the live stream, so I thought I'd pop in and say hi to you all you guys. Well, you say hi to the girls too. Anyway, just kidding. It's all good. Welcome. Glad to have you on board, Do Free. And there we go. Let's slide down a little bit more. We're going to take a look at that herder breed one and see if there's anything weird happening there. It's kind of broken too. Holy mackerel. What the heck is going on? It's those UFOs. That's what it is. they're messing things up on us. So Herdebrede is kaput too, so not going to help us much. Yep, we're not batting 100 today with our harmonic tremor chart, but that is okay. We can leave that be. Let's get over to having a look at the earthquakes in the area. And we did have a few, but it's still nowhere near the large numbers that we were seeing before. Whoop, zoom back out there a little bit. And there we go. Starting out, we got 61 in total showing here today. And let's start up on, I guess, the top end. And we'll take a look. So Grimsey, the island, is up here. And that's what we were pointing out there. And we did see some activity around there. There are a few newer quakes. And as I mentioned, it looked like about 2 or 3 of them. And these could have been picked up by that sensor. 1.2 in magnitude and 0.9 of a kilometer down. That's not that deep. 2110, that's about the right time for one. And then we had a 1.5, 4.7 kilometers down, 2126. And then we have an older one here, which is a 1.23 from 2.7 kilometers down, and that was 2:59 a.m. Kevin Haynes gifted one membership. Welcome, and thanks, Kevin. That is awesome. I'm going to write that down. Kevin Haynes, and gifted one. I never did see that one go yesterday, so I don't know who got it or who didn't get it, but maybe someone today will get that one, Kevin. That'll be awesome. Zooming out a little bit, let's go down and have a look at these other ones here. That looks like 2 stacked together, but we'll take a look. 1.19, 8.6 kilometers down, 6:02 a.m. for him. And there is another one underneath there, 1.02, 10.5 kilometers down, 3:05 a.m. for that one. And there we go. We've got a 0.6, 3.9 kilometers down, 3:34 a.m. and a 0.91, 7.4 kilometers down from 1621. Moving down a little bit. Jonesy Music. Jonesy Music is here. Welcome, Jonesy Music. Being a while is right. Glad to have you on board and welcome back. And there we go. We've got a 0.3, 3.1 kilometers down, and that was 1728. And getting a little closer to, there's Astja, and we got nothing right at Astja, but we have a bunch of stuff happening right around Herdebrede. Herdebrede is, of course, right here, and they're not north of Herdebrede anymore. Now they're south of Herdebrede. Whole bunch of them, and that is interesting. When is this guy from? 0.21, 5.3 kilometers down, 1519 was the time on it. 0.39, 4.1 kilometers down, 1328. As we get these stragglers here. 0.5, 5.5 kilometers down, 2346 for him. And we'll get the outsides first. 0.42, 1.1 kilometer down, 6:59 a.m. This 0.7, 1.1 clicks down, and that happened at 23:36. 1.11 and 7.6 kilometers down for him, 3:47 a.m. 3.6 kilometers down, 9:46, 9 minutes after midnight, 9 minutes and 46 seconds, that is. So looking at this mess, let's zoom in just a little bit more. Not going to do all of them, but we'll grab a few. Biggest one first, and that is a 2.28, and that is very close to the surface, 135 meters, and 23:53 was the time on that. Then we've got this guy up here, pardon me, and that is a 1.24 and a 1.2 kilometers down, 13:49 for him, a 0.3, 1.1 clicks down, 17:38, Then we've got a 0.26, 0.8 over kilometer down, and that is 1348. This 1.2, 700 meters down, 2348 as well for him. And 0.2, 659 meters down, not kilometers. And 8:19 a.m. for that one. Looking at a 1.2, 2.3 kilometers down, 2356 for him. Then we've got this 1.57, again very shallow, 135 meters down, 4:11 a.m. for that. Then 1.15, 373 meters down, 4:32 a.m. I keep wanting to say kilometers. That is not the case. Anyway, a 1.6, 3.9 clicks down, 2245. 1.9, 600 meters down, 2349 for him. This is older, 40 minutes after midnight. 0.78, 1.2 kilometers down for him. This 1.6, 2.7 kilometers down, 3 minutes after midnight on the 26th. So this is a very fresh, brand new. And this one here is also very fresh and brand new. That is from 3 minutes after midnight, since we're already over the clock there. Anyway, it is 1.7 in magnitude, 3.7 kilometers down for him. And this one from 4:07 a.m., 0.97, and that is 2.2 kilometers down. Then we've got this 1.3 right here from 23:45. 1.3 in magnitude, 6.2 clicks down. And we grab this one here, 1.2, 8.8 kilometers down, 22:54. So kind of covers most of those. And I don't think there's going to be anything really happening there. There may be some uplift or any something like that in that area, but I don't believe that there's anything really, really weird going to happen. Let's see, who's grumpy? I missed somebody saying hi, grumpy. Tetra is in the house. Welcome, Tetra. And that is nice to have you on board. And let's see, did I miss somebody named Grumpy? Okay. Or did I miss? We got Mon DJ. Mon DJ, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. And hang on. Don't pick. Where is? I see. It's that really, really long name. Don't pick on the donkey. He grumpy. Don't pick on the donkey, you guys. Leave the poor donkey alone. That is not a target today. The donkey is sore. After all those pins you guys poked him with yesterday, no wonder he's grumpy. Oh boy. Anyway, I can understand that. He's got justified reasons for being grumpy. Anyway, let's see. What do we got here? This is, of course, a Bardabunga. There we go. 1.2, 3 kilometers down. 23:23 was the time on that one. And then we see a bunch of activity over here. Kind of odd, but I like it. 10 kilometers down for this 2.47. And that... John, let's mind your words, okay? We have a clean show here, so anyway, 1452 for that 2.47, and then we have this 2.91, that is 11.3 kilometers down, 1451, and then we have a 1.77, 4.7 kilometers down from 1456. And let's go down here and take a look at these right near Grimsvatn. We've got a 1.14, 5.3 kilometers down. 15:53 was the time on it. Then we've got a bunch of scattered ones here all over. And anyway, that is 10.9 kilometers down for this 1.06 from 5:29 a.m. 1.44, 10.8 kilometers down 5:32 this morning. 5:33 we had a 1.69, 9.3 kilometers down. And then we've got this one here, a 1.73, 4.77 kilometers down from 5:33 this morning. So kind of a ripple effect there for those ones. We'll leave them be. We'll take a look at what's up here. We got two that are a little out of place. And 2:44 a.m. For that one, 11 kilometers down from 2.44 in magnitude. Holy mackerel, am I messing up? 12:23 was the time on it. And we'll leave that be. Go to the next one, 1.79. 12.2 kilometers down from him, and 16:03 was the time on it. Oh boy, I need to get my mouth fixed. Getting everything mixed. Merdswixt, barking tackwards, trofnubbles. And if you didn't understand that, that's okay. 7:46 a.m., 1.84, 5.17 kilometers down for that one, right near Katla, and that's within the caldera, I guess. 2.74, 135 meters down, 6:51 a.m. for him. And then we thank you for that 3-minute warning, by the way, Kevin. 2.8, 135 meters down, 6:51 a.m. Then we've got a 0.5 up here, 1.1 clicks down, 17:30 was the time on him. And that is at Katla. So a little bit of activity there, nothing really major. 0.3, 5.2 kilometers down, 1700 out in the islands there. And then we've got a 0.4, 6.2 kilometers down from 1040 up near Hekla, and that is right there. And sliding over to the Reykjanes Peninsula, again, Reykjavik right there, the capital city. Jona lives over here somewhere. And then we've got Keflavik Airport, Keflavik, Reykjanesbær, Yardvik. And when we zoom in down here, we've got Grindavik, and of course the Blue Lagoon and the power plant right there. So let's look at some of these other quakes. Very small, 0.1, 6.3 kilometers down, 21:30. And another 0.1, 2.6 kilometers down, 23 minutes after midnight for him. This up in the northern portions of the Krusavik area, 1.07, 135 meters down, 15:38 for him. And then we see this one, 2:26 a.m., 1.04, 3.9 kilometers down for that one. And 13:24 we had this 0.25, 376 meters down. And now looking at our Fagradalfjall area, of course, Ragnar is right there. Siggy Fishers right there. And there we've got two little quakes. And this 0.69 from 11.5 kilometers down. 14:22 was the time for him. And then we've got this one from 13:33. And that is a 0.87, 6.3 kilometers down. K-Lear is up here, by the way, as well. And I don't know, maybe a little bit of a deep movement. We like that. Hopefully something will come along. 0.78, 5.3 kilometers down, 6:19 a.m. for him. Then we've got a little swarm here, and there is just a few in here. So 8:31 a.m., 0.67, 6.4 kilometers down for him. And this 1.12, 6.3 clicks down, 6:12 a.m. Then we've got 5:48 a.m., 0.75, 6.7 kilometers down. and this one here is a 0.59, and it's at 6:36 a.m. 5.8 kilometers down for him. Not going to worry about. There's one more under there. We got that 7.75. One more out here in the water, and we'll grab that one. A 1.06, 5.5 kilometers down, 3:51 a.m. And that kind of gives you the overview and wraps up on what we're seeing there in Iceland. Not that many quakes, and that is pretty cool. Yesterday in Poland, 4.8, not far from Krakow. And interesting, Lucas. I didn't know there was one there. We'll take a look on the earthquake map later. Anyway, it is time for me to go take a break, you guys. So I am going to put you back on that wonderful canned lava as soon as I can find that can. I know I had it here somewhere. And we'll see if we can locate it. And that, I do believe, I was this one. Is it working? Nope, hang on. No, that's not that can. It's the wrong can. I opened the wrong one. It should have been this one. Nope, not that one either. Where is it? Oh, I see where it is. It's let's turn that off. There we go. We got it now. There you go. And I need to get rid of that big banner, and we want to turn this on archive footage so everyone knows. Can opener. Yep, I need one. Anyway, that is it. Good night, John Raper, and take care, okay, and have a good one. We'll also run out of time. Good night, everyone. Okay, no worries. And all good. So keep smiling, you guys. Be good, be kind, and we'll take a look at more stuff when we get back from the break. For right now, for those who have not yet hit that like button, if you're enjoying the show, please help us out. Of course, our target is to get over that 100 mark for YouTube analytics to really kick in. And also, if you have not yet subscribed and you're sitting on the outside, please think about bopping that subscribe button if you haven't done that already. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where it's actually just above the freezing mark, getting some rain and stuff, making the roads really yucky. Anyway, I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Keep smiling. Play nice in the lava too, okay? I'll be back. All right, I've got the microphone back on. Hey, you know, it's like you watch Batman, right? And you see the Batman signal up in the sky there when they call Batman. Well, that's actually calling calling Arizona snowman. Oh, too much fun. Okay, never mind. Bad humor. Bad humor. Thank you for the welcome backs from all of you. And Kevin Haynes and Sue and what's happening? Don't pick on the donkey. He's grumpy, Trevor. I'm not really that grumpy. Just sore and in a bit of a pain due to wisdom tooth root extraction. Oh my God. I hate those. I had mine out surgically removed. They had to put me to sleep for that. And they revived me afterwards too, which was really kind of them. I hope you are well, and everyone in the chat is too. Awesome. And Arizona Snowman, I got the hero Gotham indeed. And awesome. And Sharon Stewart, of course, I hear you. And Sophie says, hey, Doc. Welcome, Sophie. And Grandma B saying, hey, Sharon. All right. All good. So really cool. Let's carry on with our wonderful stuff. We'll leave our canned lava for the moment. Or 2 moments or something. Just gotta freeze it. I want to freeze my canned lava. And there. Oh, I used that freeze device. That works great. Sure glad Star Trek I gave that. Ignore it, please. Ignore what, Do Free? Doc, I'm not into sharing links, but someone talked about the war, so I showed them best link. Okay, just so you know, Do Free, the links don't show up here in the chat, and that's the way it is set. So the link doesn't show up at all, and let's stay away from the topic of wars. I do understand that is happening and it's there, and I don't care for it much, but okay, I didn't put the link itself, Doc. Okay, yeah, no worries, and all good. So we understand. We're gonna stay focused on what we've got here, and of course that is a show about volcanoes and the like. Anyway, I'm popping over to Sicily real quick, and we'll take a look at what it is there right now. 1:43 a.m. There in Sicily, and if we back up about 9 hours roughly, we take a look at what it was like. And they had a very rainy and cloudy day there in Sicily, and that is unfortunate, but it is that time of year. They do need to get some rain and stuff once in a while. Talk about Christmas movies. Yeah, you can, and that is all cool. And anyway, yeah, let's not talk about dental surgery either. That hurts. Earthquakes, Poland? No, that won't work. Sorry, Sophie. That's not in there. But if you will take a look at the earthquake maps when we get to them soon. Yeah, I don't have anything set up for Poland. Anyway, I did a time lapse from this morning, so I will show that right now. And see if we can get that going. So started out at about 6:14, 6:15 in the morning, and that is what we've got going on. Let's see if we can get that guy going. There we go. And look at those maniacs driving really fast. Of course, this is sped up to 128 times original speed. In this video, though, I do want to point out from the top cone there, we see some very interesting spots. Unfortunately, I'm not going to draw on this, but you can see the areas that are very melted, and you have to wonder if there's some heat underneath there. So that'll be pretty cool. And boiled carrots tonight, Trev. Oh yeah. Hyperspeed, you bet, and that is going really quickly. Anyway, that's what it was like. They did start out with a very nice blue sky this morning, and that's when the stuff started moving in. Hey, Doc Fox, I have a very bad story for dental. Short term, I'll run all the customers out of the dental care screaming over the cow needed she what dental screaming over the cow needle she used a cow needle. Oh boy. All right, I hope they didn't use anything too dangerous there. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. I don't like dentists. I've got enough trouble with my teeth, and thanks to the dentists, a bunch of them were wrecked because of the dentists. So that's one of those things. Anyway, looking at what we see here, though, it clouded over around 10:30 or so, and then it looked like the rain started. Yep, warp speed on the highway. Those guys are doing the speed limit, right? Way over. My stream is in extreme buffering. I don't see it buffering. I see my bit rates are jogging up and down a little bit, but nothing too severe. It should not be buffering. Anyway, that is the video, and there's what it is like there right now. So I'm rebooting my feed. Okay, and hopefully that LOL, it was me. Okay, do free. I knew it wasn't me. I look at the bit rates and try to keep an eye on it. It's pretty cool. Ray Jensen says, Dr. Fox, night night, bud. I'm teaching tomorrow, so have to sleep. Night, everyone. Stay safe. Ray, take care, and all the best to you. And have a wonderful day tomorrow teaching. And let's continue on with our other stuff here. So I'm going to put this one back on live. Next stop for us is over in the wonderful Azores. We are on the island of St. George. And St. George has been quiet today. You can see the lights of Pico Island off in the distance here. And that, of course, is water in between here. That's about 18 kilometers between the two islands. This is what it looks like during the day, just so you have a better idea. The harbor is all lit up, and of course the little town site there as well. On the other island, of course, Pico Island, you can see volcano, and that is Pico Volcano, or also called Mount Montana. Anyway, that is the harbor lights down there, really bright. And that's all cool. Let's go to the next shot. Of course, that is the little cove that we look at to see how much white water there is. Don't see that much. The seas are a lot calmer today. I did kind of peek in earlier. And for those who aren't familiar, there's a shot of that cove during the daytime. And that was during a calm day, by the way. And I'll leave it at that. So very pleasant there this evening. Quick peek and see. We did get one earthquake. We didn't have any earthquakes before when I looked, and that is actually in the future. It's not. It's still the 25th here, so this is 35 minutes after midnight that this happened. So this is very fresh, and that is on St. George. It is a 1.6. Not a big quake, but it is there. So let's go over and have a look at the other map, and we'll take a look, and I'm going to refresh that one. That's what it looked like, by the way. It was all clean and empty, and we'll make that a little bigger here so we can see that, and we'll get rid of the ad on the side there. So let's refresh that. Oh, I could have waited. That ad is going to come back. Anyway, there it is. Fancy Christmas shirt they got there. Anyway, get rid of that. All right. Looking on this one, they are not indicating that one as of yet on here. So this map is a little bit slow, and that is unfortunate. So there is St. George. This, of course, is Pico Island, Fayal Island, and Tercel. So the two volcanoes in the area that are listed as active but not doing much are here on St. George and here on Terceira. And that is it right there. For those who haven't seen that before, that's what it looks like. And it's actually a pretty nice shot to be able to see that. And this one, if we zoom in, we can kind of see that same thing. And there's our harbor. And of course, that is the area that we're looking at. It's all basically farmland, and you know, not too much happening there. And that's pretty much it. And I do believe this is our cove. Looks like the rock sticking out is right about there. And we'll see. Yeah, that's looks like it. No, it can't be because there's no town here. That's got to be a different cove. Different cove, you guys. Or is this the cove right here? It might be this. No, no, we're missing the stuff here. I still haven't figured out where that camera actually is. So the second one, I know the one looks right at this harbor here. So pretty cool, pretty awesome. Anyway, let's zoom back out. That is São Jorge, or São Jorge, if you say it in Portuguese. And really, I'm not seeing anything on this particular map, so we only have the one showing there. Let's put this back on to it's a single picture there, and we'll carry on with other fine things. And we will go to our wonderful Popocatépetl, and there it is. Popocatépetl looking beautiful tonight, and it is 1853 time-wise. We have a UFO going by, and I do believe that might have been OFU Lux having a quick peek, zipping across here and checking out the different locations, and definitely motoring along. While we're here, though, looking at this one, well, we'll back up a little bit and take a look at what the day was like. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with this. This is called a volcano gray. Anyway, clouds, lots and lots of clouds. Intermittently, it did peak out a little bit more so in the morning, 9:30. We did see the volcano. And prior to that, again, in the early morning, 8:02, we were able to see what was going on, so it wasn't too bad. And we did have a puff of this popping out somewhere around 7:36. There we go. And you can see it moseying on out of there, kind of slow, not a lot of horsepower to it. But it is definitely continuing to throw up its wonderful SO2 levels and etc. And cool color palette, volcano gray. Yep, I should make one that is exactly that. Thor popped in. Welcome, Thor. I'm glad to have you on board. And anyway, that is what we see there. And of course, what it is Thor goes on the other side of the volcano and hits it with his big hammer, and these puffs of smoke come out. That's what is happening. Kim Raudenbush waving at everyone. And what's the matter, Kim? You got like tears. Don't do that. You heard that here from me. You will hear it in 15 or 20, 10 or 15 years. Okay. Well, be careful with what we hear. Anyway, moving back a little bit, we want to catch the golden time here. And where is it? About here. We've seen a little bit of a puff earlier at 6:50 a.m., kind of right when the sun was coming up. I noticed the sky was pretty clear, which is really good for them for a change. And if we go back a little bit more, they're allowing us about 13 hours back today. So that is really good. 5:33 a.m., that's what it was looking like. Lots of stars up in the sky. And the caldera was cooking Let's see if we back that up a little bit. Yeah, it kind of had a flash there. I think that might have been a UFO zapping it or something. But anyway, we like it. Apparently, that's the sleepy emoji. Oh, sleepy emoji. Okay, I get it. No worries. Anyway, that is a Popocatépetl pedal for today. We'll put it back on live this evening. It is actually in the stars already, since everything is happening there. Popping over to our other friend, and there is a Fuego. Fuego down in Guatemala. And Fuego, of course, is doing its thing. It continues to throw out some wonderful stuff. Before we get into Fuego too far, though, I do want to pop over to the other ones here. Oh, hang on, is Fuego gonna pop? Yeah, we gotta watch this. Look at that glow. I like it. All right, shoot some lava out. This is live, by the way, reason for the camera shaking, for those who are not familiar with it, Fuego is 12,364 feet, and the camera is mounted on a different mountain, somewhere around 10,000 feet or thereabouts, and that shaking is because it is windy up there, and that is what we're seeing. Doesn't matter how sturdy of a mount you have, that wind whips across there and causes the camera to shake, especially when you're 7 kilometers away and zooming in. So any slight movement will always mess up your view. Before we get into other stuff here, let's just look at Momotombo. We don't have a view right now. And this is a Messiah volcano, and of course everybody's kind of been seeing this at nighttime all the time, and it really doesn't help you out. You see this bit of lava down there in caldera, but you don't really see the caldera. So I saved the picture of it, and there is the picture of the caldera. So if you ever want to sacrifice anyone, this is the one that you want to throw them into. There is no way out, and that is a bad climb. And there's no landing other than in the lava if you end up in that hole. So it's pretty dangerous, and that is kind of what it looks like during daylight hours, just so you have it. And that is pretty cool. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the edge of that. That really, that would scare me, even standing where the camera is there, looking down in there. That would be a little bit dangerous. There may be 200 people that could climb out. Yeah, there could be a bunch of people, but I wouldn't want to be the ones on the bottom. A nice picture of the caldera no, this is at Messiah, not a Momotombo. This is Messiah volcano, also in Nicaragua, and that is pretty cool. Yeah, the gas and the heat down on the bottom there, you wouldn't make it out of there. So I don't think it'd be good. Anyway, I just figured I'd throw that photo in, just so we put perspective to what we're looking at, and that is that nighttime shot that we've got right now. So that is a Messiah volcano in our wonderful Nicaragua. Anyway, let's put it back onto Fuego here. Oh, we just missed it popping. Well, we missed it popping, but that's okay. I'm going to, I have a video here, so we can show you the video. I see Limpy just hopped in, and he's holding his paw up really bad, and oh no, he's not that bad. He's gone to eat. Okay, Limpy is eating. That is good. Anyway, it looked like he was using his paw there when he first got in, and I thought, hey, who's that? But that's okay. Let's play this video, and it pops right away. So this was from 5 a.m. onward, and we'll play that, and you guys can watch that. That was pretty quick. This one is only at 64 times a regular speed. I slowed it down a little bit because it shows a little bit better, because they are only taking less shots per second anyway than regular video. But you see, it is fairly active. Some of the shots, I don't know if you've seen that big ball just roll down the hill. There are some big chunks coming down that hill. And it is a break time for me, so after this is done, I'm going to go take that break, you guys. And we'll just figured show you this real quick, and watch how it just cooks. And then once we get into sunlight, there you see some wonderful lava shots. And of course, that is what I use for my thumbnail for today. And there was some good puffs out of there. And definitely a bunch of stuff continuing to come out of Fuego there in Guatemala. And on that note, that is about it for this guy. This video wasn't overly long, so that should be just about over. There it is. I will turn that back off and leave it on live there. Anyway, I'm going to put it back on the canned lava, and we'll see if we can get that going again. And thanks, Free. There is a record of airline stewardess that fell from 32,000 feet and survived only one. Yeah, actually, there are people that have fallen from a long distance up, and they have survived. So, all cool. Anyway, I'm going to go take that break, you guys. If you haven't yet hit that like button, please give it a quick bop. Also, if you haven't subscribed, still sitting on the outsides, you are more than welcome to hit that subscribe button if you feel we've earned it. And on that friendly note, it is time for me to take a 5 or 6 minute break. Don't go away, and that will be all awesome. And I'll be back. Play nice in the lava. All right. Then we got bacon seeds coming. I'll be back. And the microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. And that is awesome. So let's get at things. Let's see. William Bull popped in. Welcome, William. I'm glad to have you on board. Sharon Stewart saying, I hear you, Dr. Fox 2000. All good. Okay. And thank you for the welcome back from Sue Hayes and Kevin Haynes and Philomena and Grandma B. And I see a wonky donkey, he back. That is cool. And all good. So good stuff. Thor saying welcome back as well. Thank you. And let's get on to our bacon seeds. Let's see if we can find that canned lava. Where's that can? That has got to be right about here. And pause. Oh, I love having that power. Being able to freeze canned lava at a moment's notice. Always nice to do. So pretty cool. Anyway, do free. Yeah, we're not trying to be bad or rude or anything, but please do remember we do have some audience members that are 10, 12 years old, things like that. So we have to keep the chat suitable for all the audience members. And I know you want to express yourself, but just bear that in mind, okay? And no offense taken or meant or anything like that. So hopefully all cool. All right, thank you. And let's get over to the bacon seeds, and we'll see what we've got happening in bacon seed country today. And of course, even with Piggy being in her bad self, she still sent a bacon seed. So we really appreciate that. This one was from the last one from yesterday, and we'll just check with what she's sent today here. And here's one of the first ones. And we've got a 4-pack or maybe 5 in there. We see a snout over on the left-hand side as well. And those are some pigs in bacon seeds, bigger bacon seeds. They got full bellies, and they are off and munching away and relaxing and doing their thing. So obviously they don't look like they're starving. It is what? It's 100% my hope that this channel grows to over 200,000. I'd love to have this channel grow like that. The pig around seems to be outnumbered. Yeah, they're outnumbered. Yeah. Anyway, next bacon seeds. These guys look a lot skinnier. They must be escapees. That's the only thing I could think of. But they are very lean looking, and we need more bacon on them. They need to go fatten up a little bit. So all good, but feed them some more. They need it. They need it. And let's get to the next bacon seed for today, and that is this foursome. And beautiful looking little guys. They are awesome. Gotta love them. They're really, really nice. Apparently, that's tradingpost.com from AU. That's Australian. They may be Australian pigs. I never knew that. And they are pretty cool. So nice to see. And let's carry on with our next one. The neighborhood gang. Yep, I could be. And here's one that's going, huh? That is an interesting snout bopper on that one. And I gotta love those colors. Mixed racing stripes and spots and all kinds of things. And that is really quite cool. And you gotta love it. That's it. Food. Yep. Tiny cuddles. All kinds of good things. And let's see what our next one says. Walk the pig. Yep. Gotta walk your pig. And there you go. Let's look at this one here. My mom is so ungrateful. And of course, we see all these stuff laying out on the floor there. I was only getting going to get my own breakfast. The other stuff was in the way. What? What a sweetie, feeding itself. I wonder if the pig was able to open the door to the fridge. That would be an amazing sight, actually, if a pig could open the fridge door. That would be really, really interesting. Kathy is here. Welcome. Aloha, Kathy. Glad to have you on board. And our final bacon seed for today. And this is this one. And of course, the wonderful pig giving itself pig kisses or little snout bops in the mirror. And the caption, of course, says, "Oh, like you didn't practice kissing in front of a mirror." So that is awesome. And there you go. That is rounding our wonderful, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the cutest piggy of them all? And there you go, guys. That is pretty cool, pretty awesome. Let us carry on with our wonderful volcanoes and see what else we've got. And practicing kissing, yep. And it is one of those things. Oh, nice. That is a very nice scene. I think we know that color really well. That is volcano gray. And it is wonderful. Let's see if we can find something other than a volcano gray. A few hours back, about 5 hours ago, we did see something that resembled a big hill, and that is smoking at the top of the hill. Still have not seen any caldera collapses of any type. This is, of course, Merapi in central Java in Indonesia, and that has been doing its thing. It's been active for quite some time and continues to be active. And I was watching some documentaries today on some of the volcanoes, and Merapi has had some really, really wild eruptions. And back in 2010, they had a super large one that, they had to evacuate people. The first area that of course, they put a 10-kilometer zone around it, saying if you got to stay 10 kilometers away. And because of the lahars and the lava flows coming down and the ash amounts, they ended up having to extend it out to a 20-kilometer mark, which seemed to be a little bit better. But that's a big exclusion zone. 20 kilometers, that's 40 kilometers across in diameter, as far as the area, with that volcano being right in the middle of it. And that is a lot of land that and a lot of people displaced very, very quickly. So that was back in 2010. Very interesting concept. Anyway, let's back up a little bit more, see if we see anything else happening. Ooh, look, lava bacon. Let's see when that actually popped out of there. And that was just prior to this. And right about here. And we'll let that flow here while I'm talking. But yeah, and when we mentioned the exclusion zone and things like that, there was a lot of activity like this. The lahars and the flows were pretty nasty, and it really, really created a lot of mess. And of course, the rain and everything else that come down, and this is kind of where they were saying the rains started right after the volcano had erupted. And of course, all that ash that the volcano dumped out well, that started getting washed down the rivers and or the flowways. I won't call them rivers, but it did create literally rivers of volcanic ash liquefied, and that buried many people, and lots of people lost their lives due to that. Back in 2010, and hopefully we won't see too many of these types of repeats. Unfortunately, in a country like that, where you have limited amount of lands, a lot of the people that go into those areas that are very close to the volcanoes are people who are just, they don't have much money or anything like that. The only thing they have is the land that they basically squatted on and took it over, and it's been in some of their families for many generations already. And of course, the reason they use that land is it is a very fertile. Being in a tropical area like that, apparently that land becomes very fertile after just a few years, with the rain washing through it and breaking everything up and things like that. So very kind of interesting concepts behind it, but still living so close to a volcano like that is very dangerous in that sense. Every night I lay down, my frame moved through the night. Oh, your frame? Oh, that's the ghosts moving in. Anyway, let's just advance that a little bit. Let's see if there was more lava flow, and if not, we'll pop back a little bit further. And it doesn't look like there was extra stuff after that, so we'll maybe take a look and see if there was anything further back, and we'll leave that. And yeah, it looks like earlier in the clouds, but we did see it did have another kind of a big blast there. And looking at the graph over here, we can see that they did have a little bit of a shaker going on, so definitely some movement. Anyway, that is what is happening at Merapi. So right now, volcano gray, unfortunately, and you can't see a darn thing. So let's go over and, what happened here? What the heck are we looking at? Skip to live broadcast. All right, I did. That don't look like, unless this is a close-up and we didn't see what happened in the last 24 hours. This cannot be Mount Ruapehu. Last I seen, it had snow on it, no trees. Unless they use some Miracle Grow. Anyway, let's change the quality here first off to what it should be, and then we'll see what we've got. We're going to back up a bit and see if we actually see the volcano today. And yeah, a little bit. You see the bottom end of it looks like a lot of thick clouds coming in again. And let's back up a little bit more. We'll see if we can see anything else. No, for the most part, they've had some nasty weather there, and we know those. Hold it, this might be all right. No, darn it, I was hoping. Still too much cloud in the way. A little bit of blue there, but too much cloud in the way. 7:24 a.m. is what that one was. So not seeing a heck of a lot. But anyway, we'll leave that be. So we know Mount Ruapehu is still there, and nobody has taken it away. And of course, this is the volcano gray. Oh, I like that. So now I put it back on live. So we got volcano gray there, same as over there at Mount Merapi. So both of them seem to be volcano gray. Let's go over to Semaru. Somebody took my Semaru away. How come? You did that just in time for the show, didn't you? It was working earlier. Let's see if they have it back up and running. And nope, no Semaru today, so we will carry on. Let's see, I did have some other picture here somewhere. Was it in this file? I'm just trying to think. I had another shot or photo somewhere. Let's look at this. What is this? No, that's not the one. Get rid of that. I had one somewhere that I loaded up, but I can't remember where I loaded it. Let's leave that guy be. Anyway, let's go over to Japan real quick and have a quick peek before the break. And of course, that is Suwanoshijima. Just got to get on that one. There we go. 10:29 a.m. Their time, and that is what we see right now. Fairly foggy looking there, so not the greatest, but lava. Oh, there's lava. I live in one volcano. Ah, you live in one volcano? I hope that volcano doesn't pop. Volcano dweller. Anyway, let's pop over, see if the ice cream boat is there. Yep, it's raining, but the ice cream boat is definitely there, so you are able to go get your ice cream if you want. And yeah, Sakurajima in the background here, looking mighty fine and proud, continuing to off gas and do its thing. But the ice cream boat is there. You guys can get your ice cream while they're still docked down the road, and follow through, and at the lights there you can turn left and go down to the dock and get it. Green tea ice cream, yeah, they have that too. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, going to go take a 5-minute break. For those good people who are here, if you are enjoying the show, please do the favor, if you haven't hit that like button already, give it a quick shot. Also, for those who are new, do consider hitting that subscribe button if you're sitting on the outsides watching, and that would be really awesome. Licorice ice cream, licorice and orange, called Tiger Paw. There, C&D boy, that is awesome ice cream. Tiger Paw is really, really good. You'll like it if you try it. Okay, on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to go take a break. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Keep smiling and be good. I'll be back, and we're going to switch over to canned lava again, and we'll turn that music back on, and that'll be all right. We've got a different bunny now eating, so they are taking turns. Not sure which bunny that is, but we'll find out. Anyway, don't go away. I'll be back. Yeah. Okay, I'll be back. And there we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. And glad to have you all here. I'm your host, DrFox2000. I see the chat rate went all the way down to 0. Nobody's chatting. Wow. And I kind of wonder, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I wonder if that is what we've got going on. Thank you for the welcome backs from Kevin and Sue and Philomena and 5x5 from Bob. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. Welcome back. Terrific, Dr. Fox. Thanks, Sasha. And okay, so interesting. We are enjoying the music. Okay, I guess if you enjoy the music, that is all right. Definitely not a bad thing. Let's go back over and take a look here. We are here just paying attention. All right, that Lizoid ice cream boat left. Another one came. So we still have an ice cream boat. No, you're not doing anything wrong. Thanks, Sasha. Bacon, I need what? I need bacon. Yes, Storm Chaser, I need bacon too. And unfortunately, I'm just not able to produce bacon. Yeah, it's one of those things. Welcome, Dr. Foxy, Lava Guy. You are losing your street cred if you don't show the pictures of me at least once in the show. Well, what, the target picture? Yeah, that is okay. You're sore today, so I don't want to inflict more pain. That's not called for, is it? Anyway, let's pop over and have a look at other volcanoes. And there is ASO. And ASO, of course, doing its thing. The caldera there steaming really quite bad, and that is quite a bit of steam coming out. We did have some more rain last night there, and it is the the lake inside the caldera is what's steaming away. It is the good old simple effect of a hot bottom on the caldera. It's like putting water into a hot pot, and it's going to steam away if you leave the burner on. So that's what's going on, and we see it continuing, and maybe it will end up erupting one day. That's what we're hoping for. We've seen it erupt before, so it can happen again. And let's see what else we've got. We also have this. We've got the feedback, but as you can see, Suwanosejima is there, but unfortunately Suwanosejima is not giving us a very good picture of the caldera, and there is, you can kind of tell it is throwing some gases off, but very difficult to be able to tell what it's doing right now. So we did find the feed, so pretty awesome to see it, but not doing a heck of a lot right now. And let's I feel poofed. What is poofed? Is that like you ate too much and you're poofed up? Like puffed up? Or what? I don't understand, Philomena. I can't, I can squint my eyes to see Sasha. Yeah, right in here. You can see the darker gray material. That's where the event is right in here. And it is really hard to make anything out. Maybe during the night we'll be able to see some glow in there. That'll be awesome. One more there. Oh, tired. Ah, okay. And here's a funky looking picture, and of course that is supposed to be Mount Fuji, but we have different ideas with the clouds here. Those look more like the shades of gray if you ask me. And that is, of course, Mount Fuji's under in the back there somewhere, underneath all that stuff. Let's see if we can even find it. If we go all the way back, can we see it? No, we can't. Well, we might be able to see a little bit more right about there before it got overly cloudy. Oh, yeah, there we can see the base of Mount Fuji and the snow line. So there is a little bit there. And that is all good. And Birdie Num, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And let's leave that be, though, and we will carry on and put it back onto Sakurajima so I can find my screen when I need to. And we will go to our next location. And I do believe Ta'al is still not working. And let me double check that. I'm going to refresh real quick to see if they have the feed running or not. No, no Ta'al volcano today, so that is okay. And we will go to our next one there, and it will be Yellowstone, which we really don't see very much of either. And Yellowstone, of course, being at nighttime there, it's always difficult to tell what's going on. Right now the picture is out of focus, definitely. This is the parking lot area out in the front here in Yellowstone National Park, and we don't have that much going on. So typically during the daytime you can see there's over 500 active geysers there, but right now we're not seeing a darn thing. Just an empty fuzzy parking lot and some light in the background here. That's where the UFOs are congregating and building a base. I don't know what they're doing over there. We never seen that light before. That's new. Wow. We seen it a day or two ago, but don't know why all of a sudden we have light there. Interesting, but nonetheless not doing us any good. Moving on, we will go to Hawaii, and this shot, of course, is from last night at the 1931 their time, and you can see the lava pond, and the lava pond, of course, is inside Kilauea's caldera, and that is what we're seeing. The area over here, we refer to it as the tow area. We can see the levels are still very, very low in on that area. Primary feeding point for that pond is a lava tube that's located on the right side here, and the lava flows in and it crusts over. And of course you see the lighter areas. That is where the crust, the thinner crust, has broken because of the basically getting the gas bubbles bubbling up, and that would break up the stuff. While the gas bubbles come up, the lava goes down, and that is what we've got. Looks like a city of tiny lights. It does, doesn't it, Birdie Num? You're right. From a bird's eye view or way back, it would look like that. If you're flying over it in an airplane, kind of interesting and pretty awesome. And that was one of the things that they did have about Kilauea. We can pop over to, well, let's do that now. And that is this here. So they were basically saying Kilauea volcano update, lava flow eruption continues. And they show the other little shot. And of course, what interested me though on this page was this graph here. Okay, the depth of what we were seeing, and we are seeing less lava in the crater. So on the what was it, on the 11th? Sorry, on the 22nd, we had a major drop. And then it built back up a little bit, and it is on the decline again today. So that is something that is kind of interesting. And this is even more interesting. So that whole area, we had a fairly good uplift, and then we've had settling down. And then we had a massive uplift over a period of about 24 hours. So that is deformation data at the summit showing a new inflation on the 24th. So we see it going up, and we don't know where that's at yet as far as how far down it has gone. But that is a good sign that we may see some more future activity with a little bit more oomph behind it for that area, and that is always cool and awesome. And let's see, does this one work? If I click on it, and oh, it wants to open it up. No, okay, never mind. It ain't gonna pop it up. Oh yeah, sure it does. And there we go. That is one of the pictures there, and that of course is from Kilauea. And here's a Hawaii one. That's Mauna Loa Shield Volcano. And of course, where's that? Waikiki. Yeah, let's all go there. It looks better. Beach is actually over here. This area. I like all of that beach though. Pretty awesome. And yeah, you can go surfing here, you guys. That is pretty cool. And same with over on this side. Pretty awesome stuff. But don't do anything bad or wrong there. The 5-0 will get you. And let's put that back to where we had it. Next photo, of course, is very similar to the one they had, and that's what we were looking at. Let's take a look if we refresh this guy, and we'll see what it looks like right now. And there it is. Primary vent here, the Hornito right about there, and the lava pond, of course, there. Lots of smoke coming off of the side walls of the caldera. We see that in all these areas here. We are still seeing smoke in the back here as well. Very interesting to see. Not seeing anything out in the open area here where we did see a couple of days ago. We seen some here, but nothing today. So things have changed there a little bit. Let's take a look at this one. This picture was stuck. I don't know if we've got anything new. And no, it's still stuck. So that camera is not working, and that is an old picture. We're not going to worry about describing it, and that is all right. And this was from last night. This is the thermal, and again the primary vent right there. The little Hornito, not looking so bright right now, and it is right there. And of course, there's your lava pond with the very low levels of what we see as far as lava in there. And there's your tow area. Our hot spot that we had over here all pretty much died out. Let's take a look at the current picture. That was from last night. This is now, and really not any different. It's still looking pretty much the same. Primary vent, a Hornito, lava tube would be in here, and there's your tow area, and of course the lava pond, the hotspot, Pig Island over here. You can still see the ring around the edge here, and that is indicating that this area here in the middle is basically a lot colder, and it is indeed a lot colder because that is between I guess from about 2 to about 5 or 6 meters in thickness of cooled down lava. Fuego, Guatemala has a big boom once in a while. Yes, Birdie Num, we already covered that, and it is continuing to do its thing, but we're not going to switch back and forth. We're going to carry on with looking at these. I do appreciate you letting us know, though. Thank you. And let's have a look at the Mauna Loa, and that is current, or that was yesterday at 1931. Let's look at current right now. So 1546 is the time on that out there in Hawaii, and there is the caldera, and we don't see any activity at all, no smoke rising anywhere. Quick peek to see if we can see the thermal, and of course if you haven't brought up the Hawaii map, this is what you'll see on the Hawaii map. And of course up here on Mauna Loa they have a bunch of sensors and very well monitored, so there's the thermal image that you can get to yourselves. And that is what we see. And thanks, Kevin, for typing that Hawaii map in. There's the link, and you guys can go get this. And basically, all the shots from Hawaii that we show are from the USGS, and you can go over there and get them at your leisure. Anyway, that is what it looks like right now. Pretty much the same as yesterday. Not bad. And the color gradient on the side here tells you the temperature. So some of the rocks being darker in color will show, well, they'll show up lighter because they're hotter and getting heated up from the sun. And you notice the backsides here are darker colors, and that is basically in the shadows. But that is not lava, that's cold lava is what it is. And if you're looking at the temperatures, so somewhere between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius is what the sun has heated that cold lava up to. Gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on. So there is what we've got for Kilauea, and that is not bad. Let's go over to the Hawaii volcanoes, earthquakes, and we'll see what we've got going on there real quick. Gonna zoom through that. For those who are not familiar with the Hawaiian Islands, there they are. And we'll zoom in a little bit more. And that is Oahu, Maui, and of course the big island of Hawaii. When we zoom in, we do see the area that is affected. And we'll go through these very quickly. The Pahala area is this area, and these are between 26 and 37 kilometers down as far as depth. So we'll go through them very quickly. This one, 1701 is the time on it, 2.0. Now this one is a 2.4 from 1241. This one is 1.9 from 1222. This guy out here, 2.1 from 3:53 a.m. This guy is 2.1 from 20:36 yesterday. This one is 2.7, a little bit bigger, 22:28 was the time on it yesterday. 2.0, 2:52 a.m. And then 2.2 from 21:45 yesterday. This one is 2.2, 9:43 a.m. And then we've got this guy, 2.5, 4:52 a.m. Then 2.4, 11:56. And let's grab this guy here, 2.1 from 3:53. And then we go up here, we've got a 2.0. 12:18 was the time on that guy. 1.9 from 8:06 a.m. and that's okay there. 2.0 from 12:15. That is your Pahala area sliding up to Mauna Loa real quick. We only see 2 up top here. 1.9, and that is at 5:44 a.m. That is at 200 meters below sea level. So you got to remember that's about 3.7 kilometers down, because this is a very tall mountain. 1.9 there from 401, and that one is near the surface up top here, 3.5 kilometers above sea level. Going over to Kilauea, we see two quakes there, one right underneath the caldera. That is 1.5 kilometers below sea level, 40 minutes after midnight. And then we see another one, 1.8 from 1612, and that is 1.4 kilometers below sea level. And that is it for the earthquakes there. And we'll leave that be. We will check the other earthquakes around the world after we get back from the break. And for right now, I am going to take that break. I see a couple more good people popped in here. Galactic Volcano and George Couteau. Welcome, you guys. And I am going to go have a break. Well, good night, George, if you're leaving. Take care. And putting it back on the canned lava. And I'm going to be taking a break. Keep smiling, everyone. And I will be back after about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. Thanks. there we go. I'm back. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. And of course, this is canned lava on the screen right now from Siggy Fisher back in August last year. So, or this year, technically, yeah, this year. Sorry, my bad. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sue Hayes and Kevin Haynes. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. And Sasha says welcome back. Thank you. And that is awesome. Let's get back over and take a look at our worldwide earthquakes. And we'll go from there. And thanks, Kananaskis country, and hello to you. And let's take a look and see what we've got. And Wonky Donkey waving hello there. And anyway, I just noticed another red dot right here, and another one in, well, that's in Texas. It's not New Mexico. They are picking the wrong places again. But if we go on street maps there, you can see that is a part of Texas. And the activity continues there. And that one that I just clicked on was a 3.2, and that is 19.7 kilometers down from 7:17 a.m. this morning. The other one here, that is a fresh 2.5, and that is from 1833, 2.6 kilometers down. And the activity continues in that area, so very interesting to see that. Also had over here in Oklahoma 3.2, and that is 5.0 kilometers down from 9:37 a.m. And interesting, but everything else seems to be a little quieter. Looking at 2,094 quakes according to this map. It's down a little bit, but and yesterday it was at about 100 more, so a little less today. Anyway, Argentina 4.3 from yesterday, 1922, 256.3 kilometers down. We see a bit of a stack down here by the South Sandwich Islands, and that is a 5.0 from 1609, 11.5 kilometers down. 4.9 from 1437, 43.5 kilometers down for that guy, and another 4.7, 35 clicks down from 2031 yesterday. Zooming back out, heading across the pond, taking a look here. Nothing new in New Zealand, which is all right. Kermadec Ridge area, of course, we have this guy. And that is a 5.0 from 2013 yesterday. Not going to worry about him so much. And the one close to Fiji, 5.0 there, and 4:28 a.m., 539.3 kilometers down. Looking at the other areas here, Solomon Islands, yeah, Solomon, 5.1. 6:24 a.m., 9 clicks down, just about 10 kilometers down, and a 5.7, 6:46 a.m., 10 kilometers down for that one. And sliding over, we don't see too much in Indonesia, with the exception of this one, a 4.3. 17:10 was the time on it, 164.2 kilometers down. Nothing in Philippines. Moving up to Japan, 4.4, 4 minutes after midnight, 320 kilometers down for him. And sliding up to Kamchatka Peninsula. Of course, here's the double-sided subduction zone. Basically the corner of the two plates meeting over here, and then we see this. We've got a few of them here. 4.3 from 1952, 10 clicks down. 5.0 from 1637, and that is also 10 kilometers down. In other words, they are not sure of the depth. And 4.2 yesterday's at 2032, and a 4.5 from 4:28 a.m., 35 kilometers down for that guy. and that is all there at the Kamchatka Peninsula, and that is getting to be a busier place, that Kamchatka. And we'll get into that in a few minutes. Let's zoom back out and take a look at other quakes. We have this guy, Afghanistan, 4.2, 102.3 kilometers down, happened from, oh, I clicked on the wrong one there, 4.2, there we go, 233.6 kilometers down, 9:49 a.m. For them, for that guy. Nothing showing on the charts here for Greece or anything in that area, so pretty quiet that way. We'll go to the other one here. We will pop over to our Canary Islands map, and we're going to see if there's anything new there. So waiting for it to refresh. Want to zoom out here. I just want to see there is one quake up here, and that is 3.6, happened today at 5:36 a.m. and that is of course a UTC is the time on it, and that is what we call the East Azores fault. But we are interested in La Palma, so let's take a look. We do know there's another quake happened right in between here, and that is a 1.8 at 2000 hours, 3 kilometers down, and that is that guy. So we will take a look though at La Palma and see what we've got for quakes in La Palma for today. And this is quick and easy. There is only one, 1.4, and that happened at 14:33, 8 kilometers down, as you can see. And you see the location on the map with the circle on it, of course, right there. So that is this guy. And that is it for La Palma. So if the fear-mongers are trying to say there's more quakes happening, yeah, there is, but it's very small. It's not going to do anything. Let's go over to our map. Actually, I want to, before we do that, let's go over, take a look at the global seismicity that we see happening. And I'm actually going to refresh this, see if it changed at all. Not by much. And we do see our stuff happening here. So the last big one we had was a few days ago, and that was this one, 7.2. And the other ones have not been very big since. Biggest one is about a 5.6 there, or well, this one here, if we're counting that, that's a 6.3. The other ones, though, are very, very small, 5.8, 5.9, just about a 6 right there. So that's it for those ones. And let's pop over to this map. I'm going to refresh our map here, and we'll have a look at it, and let's see what we can find out, and get rid of some of these commercial things, and zoom in a little bit. And of course, looking at our volcanoes, we still have our 2 in Iceland, 2 there in the Azores, Michael volcano down on the bottom here, and then of course the ring of fire. Looking at what we've got, it's pretty normal for right now. This one here has been doing a little bit of action, and somewhere I have the picture loaded for that. Let me see if I can find that. And I did load it somewhere. Where the heck did I put it? Might have been in here. Let's no, it wasn't this one. It was this picture. Okay, there we go. And remember we looked at the smoke ring from Etna? Well, this one here has a smoke ring as well, and this is Villarrica volcano, and that is in Chile. So a pretty awesome smoke ring, and of course that is from the Volcanoes de Chile guys that put that out. So pretty cool to see. Just figured we'd share that with you real quick. And well, I'll leave that be, turn that guy back off, and yeah, we know Fuego is still cooking, so that is all awesome. And why is that not moving though? Fuego should be shaking. It is. All right, there it is. That's better. Let's get back over to our map though, and let me get back over to that map. Where'd that go? Ah, there it is. Okay, I didn't know where I left it. All right, let's slide up a little bit more. Nothing new or fancy in this area at all. We do see they had 39 minutes ago another quake, 4.4 off the coast of Mexico, not showing up on the other map. So very interesting to see. But we've had a bigger one here before, so this could still be one of those aftershocks. Zooming back out, looking at the rest of the ring of fire, sliding back in down here by New Zealand, of course, Taupo and White Isle volcano still there, very much so. There's those quakes in between, and Tofua and Home Reef volcano still doing their thing. Yasur and Aoba. Aoba is the one with all that SO2 coming out of it. And of course, they have Gawa is the other guy there. So pretty normal, and we are not seeing anything new at Luolatak. Raun still yellow. Semaru, Merapi, Krakatau still existing. Ibu and Dakono still doing their thing, making dirty air. And of course, Bulusan and Mayon there, and Taal volcano right there. I still haven't heard anything about a high volcano there in the Mariana Islands. No updates on it as of yet. So we'll see if there is something there. The Hulk, why do you remove a galactic volcano from that channel chat? I didn't remove him, sir. I wasn't sure what was being said. And okay, yep, not speaking English is probably why. How about that, Hulk? That is what happens. You're not supposed to. This is an English speaking channel only, and let's not infiltrate it with foreign languages, thank you. And that is exactly what should have been done. So anyway, going into the Kamchatka area, I want to point out we still have our trio down here, Chikarachki, Ibiko, and Lade. And then, of course, we also have Karimsky, and then we've got Bezimiani, and up here we got Shivalish. But what is this yellow thing here? And this is this Klyuchesky, and I'm going to butcher that name forever. It's getting busier on the Kamchatka Peninsula. If we see more coming out of that volcano, that will be interesting. This guy is a stratovolcano. It is 15,863 feet, 4,835 meters is the height of it, and it is in a competition here. And Bezimiani is going to be out of a job if this guy keeps going. So that is what's going on there. And of course, down here we have Karimsky, and the other one beside Karimsky is also a contender for more work, and that may happen in the near future. And there we go. And let's zoom back out. And we will continue on with taking a look at the other volcanoes on the planet. Of course, down here, Erebus in the Antarctic, and Heard Island volcano continues, and Piton del La Formes That is, of course, on Reunion Island, still showing very active. We still have our two here in the DR Congo, and then Erta, and of course we pop in here, and we see. I don't think SAR CO2. I mean, oh, anyway, Etna, Volcano, and pardon me, Stromboli, got a hiccup. Holy mackerel. Must have been something I ate. Anyway, not mackerels either. Anyway, there we go. So just kind of wanted to mention, for those who are not familiar, the Ring of Fire basically is the circumference around the Pacific Ocean. And if we turn on the other volcanoes here that are not active, and you can definitely see where the Ring of Fire is all the way around the Pacific, and there are quite a few volcanoes, 1,370 plus, that are not active in the planet, and most of them are around the Pacific Rim, hence the term the Ring of Fire. Turning that back off, we will put it to right there, and we will leave it as that. Putting it back over here, and we'll close that guy out, and gives you a pretty good view of the earthquakes. And let's put ourselves over onto the SO2 map for today. And let me see if I can find that. I'm going to refresh that very quickly, and we'll get started on this and do the SO2 before the break, and then we will do our the rest of it after the break. And looking at North America, a lot cleaner looking today, and that goes for all of the areas, northern portions of Canada. Even out here in the prairies, nowhere near the amounts of SO2 that we were seeing, and even pushing out a lot of that into the ocean on the east side. Same thing goes with the United States, a lot cleaner today for the most part, not till you get down to Mexico, where we see a little heavier buildup, but that also has eased up a bit because the wind is blowing it out into the Gulf of Mexico. We see the other stuff here from Central America being pushed back out into the Pacific. And of course, these guys here, Nevado del Ruz is still continuing to do its thing. And that is being pushed out into the Pacific as well, sliding down the peninsula here. We don't see too much going on. There we do see a couple of streams out, but the weather conditions, the way everything is moving, is causing it to blow back over into the Atlantic side, or onto the actual South American continent. Real quick, a peek down below here. We don't see too much coming off of White Isle Volcano, but it is noticeable, and you can see that it has strung out and kind of made its own little thing down here. And looks like the refineries there near Melbourne are still working away, as well as the coking plants, and not too much coming out there. Tofua and possibly Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai, adding to that plume of SO2 from the Tonga area. So that is what we've got. Yasur, of course, doing its thing, still active, and as I mentioned there, Aoba doing its thing. Gau, of course, helping, or Gawa helping out as well, but mostly from Aoba, lots of SO2 gas. And looking at Papua New Guinea, pretty normal. And then we've got, of course, our Indonesian area here, looking at Semeru right about there, Luolatak over here, and Merapi continuing to do their stuff. Jakarta looks like it's putting out more SO2 than Krakatau. Ibu and Dakono continuing to do their thing. And then, of course, over here we have Bulasan and Mayon down on the bottom, and then Taal volcano there in the Philippines. And that is what we're seeing being generated here. Plus, of course, the very densely populated areas. So people pollution, for the most part, added to everything. China, very heavy industrial stuff. Not seeing quite as much from our Suwanosi-jima or from Sakurajima. They're a little easier on what's coming out of there today. We do see this plume, though, that is coming off the Kamchatka Peninsula, and that is flowing down here and being pulled into this low, and that, or is that a high? Hang on, that's a high. Low should be circulating the other way around, if I recall correctly, and at least on this part of the world, but we'll see. Anyway, that is what we got there. Looking down here in the bottom of Africa, South Africa still working with its gold refineries and stuff like that, and here in DR Congo, 2 volcanoes and some coking plants are working away. Urta Ale would be making this little plume, but then not very much. And these are oil refineries in Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, and of course Saudi Arabia. And looking at what we've got coming off of Mount Etna, and that is a little bit more SO2 today than yesterday, but not by much. And we see that maybe a little bit more help from Stromboli there. And I've checked the Stromboli cameras today and couldn't see anything worthwhile. And that is it for our stuff with the SO2. We will take a look at weather. I'm going to refresh that one. And I'll put you back on the canned lava for right now. And we'll get that back on the screen. Anyway, for those good people who are here, if you haven't hit that like button yet and you're enjoying the show, please give it a quick bop. Also, if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing if you are enjoying the show. Don't forget to hit that like button, and all good. On that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000 here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Hang around, there's a weather to come, whether you like it or not. All right, I'll be back, you guys. Don't go away. And I am back. Welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you all on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sasha and Sue and Kananaska's country. And I see Duchess of Elements finally made it in. And welcome back, fashionably late, very late. You're in time for the weather, Duchess. And thanks for the welcome backs from Casey there as well. Thanks, and all good. Anyway, let's pop over and take a look at our weather and see what we've got happening. So off we go to the weather map, and I guess my gig is up. Sue will probably be hunting for the cold temperature already. Oh, I say that with an evil laugh. I know she's already, she figured my trick out from yesterday. Anyway, looking at northern, oh, you found it, okay. Let's see, Alaska, quite cold up in the top, but they are still seeing a little bit warmer temperatures along the bottom coast, so not too bad. We see the Yukon is infiltrating. Yeah, the cat is out of the bag, darn it. We see here in the Yukon as well as the Northwest Territories, looks like pretty much right along the Mackenzie River for the most part, is what we're seeing up there, where it's getting pretty darn cold. And yeah, I've been up here somewhere around here, Fort Simpson up there, and it's not a good place. They got those flies up there, they call them buzz flies. There's about the size of a U.S. quarter. When they land on you, you know it. Anyway, looking at the Baffin Island, a lot colder there. Getting into the prairie regions, though, and British Columbia. British Columbia kind of broken up stuff. I heard my brother, who's north of Coquitlam, was getting rain yesterday, so that is what we had there. But a little warmer here. We are showing about 0 or -1 right now, roughly. We do have that high sitting there, keeping us warmer for the most part. But that is what that flow is doing, and even in Saskatchewan, not too bad, all the way into Manitoba. But the northern regions are quite cold. Another low sitting up here in the Hudson's Bay, doesn't surprise me, pulling in that warm air, though. That is actually a good thing for northern Ontario. We see as soon as we get close to Quebec, it starts to get chilly. Down on the bottom end of the Ontario's little peninsula down here. A little warmer today, but they still have some cold spots, so some of that snow that they got is going to melt a little bit, and I'm hoping that the Buffalo area has melted down a bunch as well. Anyway, looking at Toronto, 5 degrees today, 0 or 1 in Montreal, and Quebec is 1 degree right now. And looking at on the portions of Quebec, some of the areas way up in the north, very cold. Labrador and Newfoundland area, very cold in some spots as well, not as warm. Once you get back down into New Brunswick, we start to see warmer temperatures. And of course, we see this warm air pumping in here, and that is keeping the tropics of Cole Harbor at 8 degrees Celsius with pleasant winds at 16 miles per hour, 26 kilometers per hour, 98% relative humidity, though, so probably pouring rain. The temperature comes with a price. Newfoundland not looking quite as hot as these tropical areas over here. It is raining. So that is my correct assumption with looking at the stream here, and that low sitting there pulling all that air up, also trying to bring cold air down. And I'm glad that you got warmer temperatures anyway. Looking at the rest of the U.S., we do see what they refer to as the cold area has continued to invade the Midwest, actually all the way over from, I shouldn't just say the Midwest, most of the northern portions of the U.S. relatively cool, but we do see some warmer areas. South Dakota here and Montana having some warmer areas. Of course, Yellowstone being around -2, -3 right now, that kind of thing. Looking at Portland out here, we're at about 4 or 5 degrees. San Jose coming in at about 14 today. LA coming in at 15. And Death Valley, I don't know what it is there yet. Let me have a look there. Probably about 15 degrees Celsius. And that would be about 60 Fahrenheit. Oh, 58 Fahrenheit. So I was close and not that far off. Phoenix making it to 14. So that again would be 58, right? A little cooler there in Tucson. And once we get past the mountainous areas here, and go back into New Mexico, we see a lot colder temperatures, but still not overly bad. And the area where they're getting the earthquakes is about 0 or -1 degree Celsius. We do see this area here in Texas, kind of the cutoff point. There is, of course, a system sitting here and right off the coast of Corpus Christi, and that is doing its thing. But for nighttime temperatures, they're really not that bad right now. 15 there in Houston, San Antonio, only coming in at 13. Dallas hitting 13 as well. Same thing with Austin. And that's not so bad. Looking over a little bit more, our Mississippi and Louisiana area, a bit nicer, 19 in New Orleans, that's not bad. Baton Rouge at about 18 there, and then looking at the Panhandle, relatively nice weather. It gets into the mid-20s once you get down into the bottom portions of Florida. Grandma B throws in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Grandma B. First super chat of the day. And Grandma B, that'll help pay for the power. And that's awesome. Thank you very kindly, Grandma B. I do appreciate that support. And I haven't seen one of them in a couple of days. Pretty awesome. Anyway, looking at Atlanta coming in at about 12 degrees. We have, of course, South Carolina, again, bottom end, about 17, and it gets a little cooler as you go up. Of course, the Appalachians are going to be a lot colder. And we see here at Grandma B's house, 10 degrees Celsius, or about 50 Fahrenheit. Is what she would be seeing right now. And moving up, Virginia Beach about 13, and that is pretty good. And just a 9 to 100. Yep, hit that like button, you guys, if you haven't done it yet. Help us out, get it over that 100 mark. Seeing about 6 or 7 degrees Celsius there in New York, a little cooler in Boston with 5 or 6. Halifax, of course, are coming in about the same as Cole Harbor with their tropical temperatures of 8 degrees and some rain sliding over here a little bit. We didn't look at Mexicali, that's about 15, and they had that other earthquake just over here somewhere, and that would be kind of shaking the area. Maybe the Baja will break off and become part of British Columbia in the future. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we do see this in here. That would really mess things up if the Baja broke off here and started to move out and move north. Who would own it? You know, if it slid up here, would Mexico still own it? or would it become part of the United States? I don't know. That's kind of a weird one. Anyway, I won't even think about it. Anyway, looking, we do see it goes all the way down here into Mexico. Wow, minus 5, 6, 7 degrees, depending on where you are. That is horribly, horribly cold. Traveling to Baja. Yep, you bet. Don't be scaring me, Doc. Yeah. Hey, C&D boy, you could have the next. Just imagine if this broke off and slid all the way up here and sat right in front of you here in front of Vancouver Island. The top end would become a rainforest, and this is the Queen Charlotte Islands here. So you'd have a rainforest on the top end, and the bottom, I think it'd be neat. You'd have sand dunes and beaches, and I've got about 20 feet from my door, guys. Yeah. There you go. Anyway, Cancun coming in at about 27 degrees Celsius. Looking at Central America, they're holding a pretty steady. South America, especially in Brazil, holding fairly constant temperatures. We see the Amazon areas heating up a little bit as well, which is really good. And that's getting things back to normal. We do see Bolivia has some warmer temps still holding in there. This is nighttime temperatures too, so bear that in mind. And of course, we are seeing here in Paraguay, it's not bad. Uruguay also not too bad. The coastal area here, this high is picking up some colder air and throwing it in, getting a little bit colder, but still very, very reasonable. The interior of Argentina is still seeing some very good temperatures for the most part, with the exception of the bottom end here, and that is almost like Chile in Chile. So let's slide over to New Zealand. Let's see what we've got going on here, and it looks like they might have a low sitting here and a low sitting somewhere on top of the island, possibly there. I was going to say down here there's got to be another low. There's another one there. So those are bringing up that colder air and trying to cool New Zealand back down, but looks like around Christchurch and those places, probably about 18. Yep, and on this map, Wellington coming in at 17, 18, and then Auckland up here at 20 degrees today. So not so bad for them. And our hot places, we know that we've got the hot spots here in Australia. Of course, down here, Tasmania, looking not bad. Looking at Melbourne, 23 degrees today, and Leo will probably be enjoying himself. He'll have a barbecue without a doubt. And of course, they're about 19, 20 in Adelaide. Sydney coming in at 21. Perth is sitting at about 22 to 21, depending on where you're sitting there. And looking at that, there's a low right over top of Brisbane. They've got 33, 34 degrees. Holy mackerel, that is warm. Summertime has shown up there. Anyway, 39, 40 degrees in the outback up on the northern portions. Very, very warm. We do see some other temperatures and there that are in the high 30s as well, all the way through, and mid to high 30s down on the bottom end. So Australia getting a lot warmer right now. Pretty awesome to see. And we see out here in Tonga area, and that they got about 26. There's a high sitting there, so some circulation issues here, I think, for the most part, with probably a stormy weather. And looking at the Indonesian, Malaysian, and Philippine areas, very, very warmish, and we see about 26, 27 there in Bangkok. Thank you, Sue. And 91% relative humidity. That's warm. Manila coming in at about 28 to 32 degrees, depending on where you're standing. And then we will slide north a little bit and take a look at Japan. Looks like not bad on the edges of Japan. Actually, they're pretty good for today. Mid-teens for the most part. Not till you get up in the top islands here where it starts to cool off a whole bunch. And I was going to mention Seoul, Korea, 6 degrees Celsius, but the bottom end here, 15, 16, and that, of course, is sitting here right at the Yellow Sea, going out into the East China Sea, where it's getting a lot warmer. Shanghai coming in at 19, so pretty cool, or warm, depending on how you're looking at it. Anyway, there we go. We've got our fun place here, and that is our Kamchatka Peninsula, and it is starting to look like a deep freeze, and we will continue on looking at India area, big high sitting over there, some lows twirling around, temperatures Sri Lanka 24 to about 27, bottom end of India being very nice temperature wise, but the top portions dropping all the way down to about 11, 12 degrees, depending on where you are. Same thing goes for Pakistan, and of course, getting up into Afghanistan starts to get a lot colder, sliding back down to the bottom end here. We see this high, it's bringing up colder air. Cape Town not enjoying that, and about 16, 17 degrees down there in South Africa. And that's still better than a minus 15 or 16. Anyway, the rest of Africa pretty normal for this time of year. Looking at our Middle East areas, as we call them, and we do see Yemen is, well, I don't know, a mixed bag of temperatures here. We do have some mountainous areas there, so higher up elevations are definitely a lot colder. And looking at about 2021 for the most part in Oman, and UAE has definitely cooled off, and 20 from 17 in some spots they are freezing there. They'll be looking for a long underwear. Anyway, Saudi Arabia, northern portions are quite cold as well. Baghdad only making it to 15 today. Bahrain or what Basra there in still showing what is it, 1920, so that's not that bad. Looking at Turkey, we see the Turkish area still quite cool. Piggy's temperature will likely be around 14, 15 degrees, and it is nice that Piggy has got that new stove that is really helping warm her up. And of course they don't have gas heat or anything like that. They've got wood stoves for fireplaces and keeping things warm. And yep, she's got 14 degrees Celsius there. That's a lot cooler than normal, and that is their wintertime temperatures, so not bad. Anyway, looking at what we got on Crete, again, single digits up on some of the hills, but the coastal areas are still holding in some real good warmth. Same thing with the rest of Greece, fairly cool. Going over to our other areas, you see this nasty system right here, and that is, we'll see once we get over to precipitation. That's making a big mess there. Likely going to see more snow on Mount Etna. I figure maybe tonight, a few more hours, we'll see it drop in temperature and get more snow. But the outskirts or the shorelines are still fairly warm, and that goes for the bottom of the boot here too. But the interiors of the most of it are very cold. 13 in Nepal and Naples, there we go, and 11 in Rome, and Milano coming in at about 3 degrees. Burr And New Irish Monkland, aka Sardinia, the coastal areas 13, 14, 15, depending on where you are. Interior dropping down to about 6 at the lowest point there. Sliding over a little bit more and looking at Spain and Portugal definitely cooled off. Mid to low teens or mid to low single digits. Wow. And they're going to have snow in Mexico. So much for having a siesta in the hot sunshine. And we do see the warmer air still blowing up north. And we do see here in France pretty much all single digits as well for the most part. So not so warm anymore. Luxembourg down to 3 or 4 degrees. Same thing goes to the eastern parts of, I'll think of it, Belgium. I was thinking beer. That's my key word, beer, Belgium. That gets me with that name every time. Anyway, Holland, though, doing not bad. Holland, I just think of windmills. And sometimes I have problems and wonder if I should call it Netherlands. And there we go. And you wanted to see that birdie num is 5 degrees there. Amsterdam coming in at about 7. Munich or München, 4 grad. And Frankfurt is 5 degrees. 4 and 5. Cologne or Köln is 6 or 6. And Berlin ist auch 6 und 5 Grad hier in Hamburg. All right, I'll stick to English. 6 there in Berlin and 5 in Hamburg, and not bad. Copenhagen coming in a little warmer at 7, which is really nice, and that is pleasant to see. Stockholm only 2. Oslo coming in at 1 degree, sliding over, looking at Riga -1, St. Petersburg -7, -8, and all the way out here in Moscow -6 degrees Celsius. CVET, thanks for popping in right at the end of the show. And let's see what happened here. Let's get back to England. And there we go. England not showing too bad temperatures. Looks like Wales is a little bit warmer, especially out on the coastline, but the rest of it about 6, 7 degrees, depending on where you are, 5 in a couple of spots there, and that goes all the way up and through up into Scotland. Irish Monkland is a little bit warmer, and it looks like maybe about 11, 12 degrees there in Doolin, and that's not too bad for Ireland. And looking up in the top end of our wonderful Finland, Norway, and Sweden here. So Finland, Norway, Sweden. There we go. Not bad for this time of year. We see this low here. Don't know where that's going to go, but right now it's doing its job, pulling up that warmer air, trying to keep Iceland from becoming ice. And we do see Reykjavik coming in at about 4 degrees Celsius, and our wonderful Ragnar area actually warmer than Reykjavik, and that is 5 or 6 in that area, so not bad. And here's Jona's home, and that is 5 degrees at Jona's house, and there we go. So that is our weather that way. Let's pop over to precipitation and see what is happening. And up in the Alaska, lots of snow in various places. The western coast of Canada and the Alaskan panhandle here, definitely getting nailed. The interior of British Columbia getting some snow as well. We do see rain down here in Oregon and Washington. And then we've got that high sitting here trying to keep that snow down to the southern areas and let Calgary have it, because we don't want it up here. Anyway, that has got some ice rain involved in it as well, but that's what's happening there. And we see up here in the northern portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, going from, as well as in the territories here, Northwest Territories, and none of it is because of this low sitting in here from our wonderful Hudson's Bay. So that's what we got there, but not bad in the prairies, pretty open looking, and not so much snow around the Great Lakes. We do see a little bit here north east of London and north of Toronto, some snow. And yeah, I was just going to say, we'll talk about that in a second. Some ice rain here in New York and New Hampshire and those areas. Hopefully that won't be too bad. And of course, there we got the St. Lawrence Seaway. Looks like it's snow and stormy and stuff. And I was going to say to Sue, have you planted the palm trees yet? But you know what? I can see that you'd have a problem with planting a palm tree. That is a nasty system. I hope that moves that way. That is horrible, and that needs to move, and that is really, really bad. Did I say hi to you, Steve Vett? Good to have you on board. Anyway, that is a pretty nasty storm sitting off the eastern coast of the U.S. and Canada, and of course hitting right into Nova Scotia and into New Brunswick, getting a PEI as well. And nothing in Newfoundland right now, but I'm sure as it moves out, this high will move over a bit, and this will slide out a little bit more and continue on. So this low will probably move like that, and we'll see this all dissipate. Anyway, looking at the western portions of the U.S., we did mention already that we see that in Washington and Oregon, not too bad. And there we see, my God, there's snow in Texas, and there they go. That's bad. And here's that system I was mentioning earlier, just off the coast of Corpus Christi, and that is that low sitting right here doing a number. So they have got some bad weather all the way around the bottom here of Texas and those areas, and that is even going into our next state over. Anyway, sliding down, general storms in Mexico and Central America. That stuff just doesn't stop. We do have a circulation here, then be a low, and it's bombarding Nicaragua and those areas on the backside there, or on the eastern side, and looking at Brazil and Rio de Janeiro. No wonder it's not that warm. We do see that system off the coastline there and all the way in the Amazon doing its thing. A lot less down on the bottom end though. So if you're down in Argentina, probably reasonable weather. Same thing with Bolivia, as well as Paraguay, Uruguay, and those areas. Sliding over to New Zealand, and we'll take a look there. And they should be clearing up on the North Island. South Island definitely got a lot of clouds. Not doing so good there. Sliding over a bit more. We see a little bit here in Tasmania, not bad as far as rain. Melbourne looks dry. Sydney and even up here in Brisbane, not bad. We do see Adelaide and this whole band coming through here, and that is all part of this low working on drawing things down and pushing things up. So that's what we've got there. Going up here and looking, we probably have some storms out here in Tonga area, and that would be pretty nasty for them. And looking here, Vanuatu has got storms happening too. Same thing with Papua New Guinea, not as bad. And looking at our Indonesian area here, getting nailed pretty good. And of course, all the way into Bangkok and those areas, some rain. Philippines doesn't have rain right now, but hey, wait 5 minutes, I'm sure it will. And sliding up and looking at what we've got going on near Japan. Holy mackerel, there are some bad things coming their way. So we'll see where this low goes, and that will probably move up as soon as that high moves over a little bit. And we'll see where it goes. But bad weather, lots of rain in Japan, snow likely up in the northern areas. Sea of Japan got some storms in it as well. And of course, we see that nasty low sitting up here in Russia doing its thing. Also, a nasty low right there. If it wasn't for this high, that would be a lot more snow in this area. So right now, that's a pretty good thing. And looking at that up here in the Bering Sea area, doing its thing, so not bad. And Indian Ocean, not so bad. We do have this going all the way from, wow, that's hitting Heard Island and going all the way up into South Africa and Mozambique, I guess. And not so bad in Madagascar, but here in our tropical areas, we do see rainforest areas there, Congo, etc., getting rained upon. And looking what we've got in Turkey, they've got some snow and storms like that in the eastern portions of Turkey. And of course, I don't think a piggy is getting rained on right now. So that is good, a little drier there for her. And here's that nasty stuff I was kind of mentioning earlier with that storm sitting off of Naples and Rome and that area. Sardinia is picking up a part of it. And of course, Sicily is going to get more of it as well. So we'll see what happens if we get more snow on Mount Etna by tomorrow. And that'll be interesting. Looks drier there in Spain and Portugal. Lots of fog in our wonderful France, and some snow in the Alps, of course. And looking at Germany, we've got a bunch of spotted rain. Nothing super heavy, which is probably a good thing. And let's check England first. London should have some rain right now, but Wales looks fairly dry. Some rain up top here in Scotland, not that bad. And Doolin probably getting some rain right now. And they get the warmer temperatures, but hey, you get rain with it, and that's the way that works. And that goes all the way out here and into this low, generating that circulation. So pretty nasty. And of course, looking at Oslo, there we got snow. Stockholm, snow. And St. Petersburg, no snow. But they've got some ice rain there in Russia as well. Not so bad up top in Norway, Sweden, or Finland. And of course, getting over to our wonderful Iceland, the snow is up in the north and east area for the most part. We do have a little bit up in the northwest, but just a tiny little spot down here. And that would be somewhere around Katla area. Interesting, eh? Nothing over here at Reykjavik. So that is it for our weather today, you guys. In general, it's pretty standard. There's nothing super wild going on. So we should be pretty good. Lots of marks in Russia. Yep, that means lots of ice rain. And that is what we got. Anyway, let's go and find our coldest temperature. And I know Sue has been looking diligently, and I'm sure she's found it. So we look down here, Antarctica minus 43 is about the coldest we see it. Hang on, I had 42 here. I did have a 43 down here before, so I know it's here. There's also another spot that's over here, fairly cool, minus 42, minus 43, and that'll be right in there. But the cold spots are in Russia today, and yeah, and I do agree with that, a minus 48, because I did find that, and that is horribly cold, and I just had it on there. It's over here. There's actually two spots that are about the same, minus 48 here, and there it is. And there was another minus 48 that was over here somewhere. Hang on, where was it? In here. 45, no, 47. I had a 48 over here as well. So Russia, there's a bunch of places in Russia where they are at about minus 48 degrees Celsius. And this, of course, is Siberia, and this is what they call Central Russia. So I don't know. It's a cold country. Oh, cold, very, very cold in Russia. So a minus 48 degrees Celsius in Russia right there. So I guess it's a tie, Sue, and I shouldn't have said anything, but I'm sure you would have figured it out and got that temperature too, since I pulled that one on you yesterday. And I know you're a pretty smart cookie there, Sue, so you wouldn't get duped twice. Anyway, that is pretty awesome. Yeah, penguins, and yeah, that is the mammoth habitat. Yeah, that's about it. And yeah, your woolly mammoths live up there, and that is pretty awesome. Anyway, that's what we've got for our show today. Couldn't pull the wool over my eyes. Aha! That's punny. That's punny, considering you're talking about a mammoth. The mammoth fur, not the wool. Ah, darn it. We'll have to look for a new spot soon. Never mind Russia. We got another one, another top secret country. I won't mention any names. So if you happen to see a hamster going around a certain area, be careful, because it gets cold there too. So it's not now, but it will in the future. Anyway, on that friendly note, I'm going to keep smiling here, and we will hit the other button and go over here and go back to the yeah, top secret. North cold is coming. Yeah, you bet. Anyway, that is awesome. And at least today we had a super chat of $2. At least that will pay for my power for today's stream. That is awesome. Thank you very much, Grandma B, for that kind support. Kevin Haynes did throw out one free gift membership, but it was not scooped up by anyone. At least I didn't see it. It says 0 on my screen, so all good. Thank you, Grandma B, and thank you, Kevin, for helping out with support. And that is nice to see. And didn't see any super chats yesterday either, so, and didn't see any memberships increase either yesterday, so that's what we've got. But I do appreciate that, Grandma B. Thank you kindly. and all good, you guys. So be good, be kind, be careful, and of course, take care of yourselves. Thank you to the moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy, C&D Boy, Joseph Fields Official, or sorry, Joseph Fields Texas, and of course Gary 24/7 Live, he's at Skies, and any of the other ones that were in the background as well. And thank you very kindly to all the members that are here. I appreciate your support all the way through, and that is awesome. And on those friendly notes, it is time for me to get off of here and go have some dinner. So be good, be kind, and remember, tomorrow is Saturday, you guys. So Saturday means the show starts 3 hours earlier, and that is all cool. And remember, Saturday weekend. I know today's Black Friday. We probably didn't have as many people here as we should have because of that. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Be good, be kind, take care of yourselves, and most of all, please, please tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care, good night, and oink oink.
you.